And we are live on YouTube. Okay, first I have, my name is David, and I have an apology to make first. Just a little while ago, I posted that I was going to be, I posted a picture of my granddaughters eyeing eyeing the donut that they were going to eat to launch their summer celebration. And it's in my news feed, but I could not get it into my story uh, because I did not take the picture originally. Uh, and I just did a copy and paste uh, off of Facebook, a Facebook posting that happened earlier today. Literally would have to integrate 5 technologies. I said I was going to hold a picture up of my granddaughters, but I can't. Well, I could, but it was going to take way too long to make it happen. So if you want to see a picture, and it's a really cute picture, it is in my news feed. Okay, so I thought it would be fun today to do my first ever video audio book. Um, and I'm with more emphasis on audio. I've never done an audio book. I haven't listened to too many in my lifetime, but I've been fascinated with the concept. I even had an argument with a friend of mine. I won't mention his name, but he's a very well-known author in his field. He did his first audio book probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I think. And when I listened to it, I was disappointed because it wasn't his voice speaking. It was, I don't know, a paid professional voice. And he has a very, very interesting voice. And that's why I was looking forward to listening to him to tell his story in his own voice. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I did something back in 2010, and I made a major investment to do it because I was transitioning my brand, if you will, to do what it is that I'm doing today. So I did a bunch of things to work on that transition. And one of the things I did was I participated. Well, I participated in this book project, Business Strategies for Explosive Growth in the New Economy. And proof that I did was my picture on the cover with my number one mentor, coach, if you will. We had never met. We've only met one time in our life personally for 45 minutes. Then I'm going to, in those 45 minutes were the most memorable 45 minutes of my life, because here I was sharing my dream, my thoughts, where I wanted to go with my number one mentor, Brian Tracy. And he actually said in the book, he signed my copy on October 21st, 2011, you can do it. There are no limits. So Brian cheered me on back, and in 2011, and it's been a motivational factor for me. I presented him with I did a whole board, a storyboard for him, thanking him for for my being my most important life and business mentor. Your teachings have greatly impacted my life, Brian. Thank you. And it's a thrill to present that to him in this whole project and to be on the cover of the book. It really was a wonderful thing, man. And the book also was recognized by the National Academy of Best-Selling Authors with a Quilly Award. It was presented a Quilly Award, and here's here's my my broken Quilly Award. There's a quill on the top, and it fell off, and then I actually went out to Hollywood in a formal tuxedo red carpet deal. Got presented the Quilly Award. It really was a wonderful, wonderful moment in my life. But I wanted to do an audio book on chapter 23. And there are 33 chapters in the book. All these folks were participants in this project, folks like myself, and I chose to write about 21 great businesses and personal lessons I have learned in my 38 years as a small business owner. That goes back to 2011, 2010 actually, when I wrote it. Brian Tracy, well, editorial note here. As I went back to read what I wrote way back then, I realized that I am not going to share in my audiobook some things that I said way back then. Because the times have changed and life goes on, and I learned something. No, I validated something very negative, a validation of a friend who just a month ago revalidated. So chapter 23, 21 great business and personal lessons I have learned in my 38 years as a small business owner. Brian Tracy, this was my kind of a subtitle. Brian Tracy, my greatest business mentor, didn't change my life. He just set me in the right direction, and I changed my life. Thank you, Brian. I actually wrote that before I met him. I just thought about that now. That was written 6 months before I met him. So most of my best lessons learned are a result of direct interactions with key people in my life. Other lessons were simply results of actual business experiences from the last 38 years. Let's begin that discussion and journey. What an interesting segue into my legacy story. Yes. My first thank you impact goes to God. The greatest lesson that I ever learned came from God. God is my author of life and death. God was there when I was conceived. God was watching over me very closely during that number has changed. This is This says 4 genetic heart surgeries and 1 brain surgery. There's more to that list, but here we are today. That I had in the last 15 years of my life. So very clearly, 5 different times, God has said, David, this small business stuff isn't done yet. And fast forward to 2023, and the same statement God can make. The remaining lessons learned are not in any necessary prioritized order. I guess I'll make some editorial notes along the way. My maternal grandfather, was my first entrepreneur role model. He clearly demonstrated to me that focused hard work would make a return on time investment. Folks wanted to work hard for Harry to gain his respect. And when you gained his respect, he would do anything for you. I even remember when my grandfather was in his late 70s and traveled almost 1,500 miles to help my younger brother start a business. He taught me that if you treated folks fairly, you could accomplish any business goals with their support. Definitely taught me that. A quick sidebar, my grandfather was responsible actually for me officially becoming a small business owner when he overheard a conversation on purpose probably that I was having with my mother, his daughter, and I said, Mom, I want to be your son. I don't want to be your business partner. And this is less than 100 days after we were business partners. And my grandfather looked at me and I looked at him and he said, David, give your mother $10,000 and do whatever you want to do. And I said, okay, you're the CEO of this deal, our family, and if that's what I need to do, that's what I'm going to do. And I did it, and it was the thing that actually got me started in all this, and I dearly, dearly thank my grandfather for that. Grandpa Harry, Dad. My father was a very low-key entrepreneur. I think you can, there. That's a picture of my father. I'm laughing because of the story that I tell that goes along with that postcard out there. However, his dream, my father, was to own and publish his own publication. As a high school student, I was present for 3 meetings he had to discuss his purchasing of a publication from the publisher and several of his advisors. And my father never said it, but he probably knew that listen to what's going on in dollars because it's going to be an important lesson for you later on. He never actually said that to me, but I definitely picked up on it. Sorry, Dad, you paid. Sorry, Dad, you paid 5 times as much for the publication as Mom did, but we did. No, Mom didn't pay anything. Is Mom God? I have a miss. Is Mom God? This is the first time I've noticed this error. Let's make a note of that. That needs changing. Can I go back on the first? Well, yes, I am ultimately responsible for the things there. But we did keep it in the family. I was blessed to be able to continue my father's dream. Less than a year after he died, less than a year after he died. I bought it from my mother. I mentioned it there for $10,000 in a deal brokered by my grandfather, her father, maternal. I was 24 years old at the time. I tried to make it a good investment for mom over the years. For me, that investment was returned thousands of times, and I thank Dad for planting that seed. Well, fast forward, the number is greater than thousands of times. My mom has been the only business partner that I have ever had, and I thank her very much for accepting my offer to buy the business from her. I have enjoyed being her oldest son. We would not have made great business partners, as evidenced by the first less than 100 days. Just 3 days ago, wow, just 3 days ago, my 87-year-old mother said to me, David, how is it again that you make money? And over the years, um, uh, that was mom's lead question to me. And it was not, well, and after the making money in the very last years, it wasn't about making money anymore. It's, David, what is it that you do? Because my friends here at Windsor asked me, and I don't know what to tell them. I said, Mom, just tell them whatever it is. It's still going. So don't put definition to it. An easier question for mom has always been, are you making any money? And of course, making money is definitely relative to each individual. I'm going to leave out the comment I had about well, maybe that's why my siblings have not always been 100% supportive of the things I've done in my life, and that's okay. However, I think they probably all have said at some point in their life, somehow David will figure it out. There is an editorial comment to that I want to make. Jordan, my son, 3 years ago, when Jordan was 20, he said to me, Dad, I don't think you're branding yourself properly. I don't think you're positioning yourself properly. Therefore, I don't think you're marketing yourself properly. Well, Jordan, oh man. Okay, YouTube. I lost power. I guess I will finish the story that I did not finish on Facebook. Back to chapter 23. Now I will go real quickly with these. Sam, my son, I'm not going to read the end of that. Jordan, it changed. My son Jordan changed my thinking, my mindset, and it was absolutely the right thing for me to do. Sam, my younger son, 369 days younger than Jordan, and I have engaged in many philosophical life discussions in the last several years. The discussions I have absolutely enjoyed the most is direct marketing. I can't say that because every time I say that, Sam argues with me, so I will not say that. Sam has definitely demonstrated in different periods of his life that he understands marketing and the marketing and sales concept. Very clearly, he's done that. And so he has been a motivational thing for me in my thinking too. That one I'm absolutely not going to read because I was wrong, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to read that one. I.D. Blumenthal. My first journey into serious entrepreneurship when I accepted an offer from a gentleman by the name of I.D. Blumenthal to partner with him, his investment, to publish a magazine he owned. Mr. I.D., and that's was what everybody called him, taught me that when you have a dream and you are very passionate with that dream and you are persistent with that dream, with patience, someday, that dream will come true. How so very true. Kevin McKenna, he was a longtime friend of mine. Started in the 90s. We've done lots and lots of very successful projects together. Glenn Williams. Glenn was, I'll get in trouble if I say my favorite customer of all times, but we were very close friends, and he was well, he ended up being senior vice president of marketing of the company that owns Globe Life Insurance. Every household in the United States has probably gotten a mailing from Globe Life. Trying to see if that computer's not going on at all. Okay. He taught me a lot of things about direct mail. At one time, he was responsible for putting over 300 million pieces of mail to households. And they didn't miss too many households with the various products that they had. And so I learned a lot about direct mail. And my customers, my 1,000+ customers lifetime with whom I've had direct interaction have taught me to listen to the challenge and understand the problem. Never assume you have a solution until you totally understand the situation. As recently as probably a couple hours ago, I laugh at folks who send me marketing emails assuming that they can help my business move forward when they don't even really know what my business strategy is. And so I don't go very far with those. Trust and confidence. Interesting. Business will not work unless there is trust and confidence on both sides of the table. Lacking ultimate trust and confidence, a business relationship should not proceed collaboratively. Still true. I probably said something very, very similar to that as recently as 2 weeks ago, because I have become an accredited business of the Better Business Bureau, and trust is the most important business concept that they promote, they mark, well, and it is. A good collaborative business relationship cannot exist without trust, and that will never change. Business strategy, we won't go into that. Market strategy, you're seeing on a day-to-day basis what sales and marketing strategy is. I made the decision about 3 weeks ago that the best way that I could publish and produce the Cincinnati Celebrates Business story is by creating a very closely knit, private actually, because I will screen everybody. There's only going to be 553 members in the group, in the community. And the objective of the community, the vision of the community is that 1,600 videos, business videos, we will publish and produce as an outcome from this particular closed community. 1,600 videos about Cincinnati celebrating business. I think I probably should turn a little bit. Different angle. There we go. Better angle. Tuesday morning, literally, I will be launching phase 2 of my personal direct marketing efforts to engage with 7 companies here in the Cincinnati market. And I've done my research to figure out what 7 companies they should be. I did phase 1 about a week and a half ago, and now it's time to do phase 2 of my initiative to engage them in our community. 7 businesses. And then each one of those businesses will sponsor 75 folks who will learn how to, oh my goodness, is that northern wren again? It's the northern mockingbird. The folks will each of the 7 companies will sponsor 75 folks who will do I will mentor them in creating videos celebrating business in Cincinnati, and there'll be various things for all of them. For 525 folks, it's a job right away. Some of those jobs will evolve into those individuals owning their own businesses, doing what I do. I will teach them to do what I do so they can do it for themselves and take it. Well, as Brian Tracy says, there are no limits. I had my book. Maybe that's why. In my book that I wrote in 2007, that's what I had the chapters on marketing strategy, business strategy, money matters, technology. In this writing, I've devoted some time to social media, but that I am sure my last sentence back in 2010 was, social media is not community business to business. That's interesting because I've just told you that we are going to make Cincinnati Celebrates Business a community business to business. We will use social media. We will generate URLs that can be published wherever URLs are published. And that's all part of the concept of publishing and producing. And so 525 folks, and then that becomes our mission is to create 525 jobs, which we will do, and that some of those will evolve into businesses for the individual. But that's not for me to decide. That's for the individual to decide, and I will help them if I think that would be a good decision for them to get involved, and I'll do that to make it happen for them. Success is relative and can only be measured and focused when personal goals and objectives are established. We determine for ourselves how success is measured, set the goals, objectives, and accountability to achieve that success. That is my simple 4-line definition of success. Brian Tracy, you've heard me talk a lot about him, entrepreneurship. In the last 15 years, I have produced, I would say, at least 2,500 hours of YouTubes on entrepreneurship and small business. Some were just me speaking. A lot of them, whenever I could, I had a conversation with another individual. One individual, Barbara Wellman, we've been talking on the internet. We've been live streaming on the internet for 15 years. We've gone through a lot of technologies to take information to small businesses. Nobody does it better than Barbara Wellman. And so it's been fun having Barbara as a mentor for the last 15 years. I don't even mention Barbara in the book. I'm sorry, Barbara. You're in My Legacy Stories book, The Dream. I once heard, this goes back a long time ago, a motivational speaker mentioned, and it's had an impact on my thinking ever since, that perhaps the greatest gift we give our children is the importance of the dream. And I hope, in fact, I've given Jordan and Sam the dream. There's no question that, they're doing great things. I'm very proud of my sons, so they can set goals and objectives in their lives so that they each will achieve that dream, and they are. They're young, but they're working their way to the top of their game, and it's been fun watching them. And my final little mention I have in the book, it was indeed an honor to participate with other entrepreneurs. We all got a Quilly Award with this collaborative publishing project. I have even realized another dream. Thank you, Nick Nanton. Thank you, Brian Tracy, for helping me make that dream come true. Nick Nanton was the, he created the whole concept of this whole project. It was a wonderful experience in my life to participate in that project. So that's it. I don't know what is going on with this computer, and I'm having problems. So I lost my Facebook Live. It just went out. Now I even can't turn it back on at all. Let's close it up and see. This, I will publish this video in my Facebook profile. It will be published in LinkedIn, in my profile page, and wherever else. I have probably 3 or 4 other places where it could be published pretty quickly. They are projects of mine. So if it works, it works. We'll have to see where we are at that moment. So thank you for your time today. Um, it's been a long time today. It's been 35 minutes today. And I usually thank folks for 19 minutes of their time. So I will thank you for 19 plus 16 minutes of your time. And as ever, as always, if you have any questions or comments, or you want to do a video chat with me, if you go to davidfleopold@gmail.com, that's a web landing page I have, davidfleopold@gmail.com. At the bottom of that page, it's at the bottom of the page, just under the fold, there's a form, 3 lines. I'm the only one that reads those forms. It asks you for your email address, your name, and what's on your mind. And it goes right to me. And I promise you a response that within 10 minutes of me reading it. Within 10 minutes of me reading it, you will get a response to that. So thank you. Thank you for your time. And we'll see you the next time. And as my old friend from 50 years ago, Honey Williams, used to say, the next time, which may very well be the best time. We'll see you soon.